show. Is it a sandwich? If I called a hot dog a sandwich, do you think that you'd be fine with it? If not, then why? Let's bust this wide. Mary, Carrie, Kelly, Matt, oh my, is it a sandwich? Well, let's decide.
Peanut butter isn't just a delicious food. It's also the name of one of the best characters on BoJack Horseman. And to quote his wise and sober words, back in a jiff, Skippy, on Order Up.
I love BoJack Horseman. We need to get someone from BoJack Horseman.
Hey, if we could get Paul F. Tompkins, Mary,
if you could work on that, Mary.
You would make my life.
Okay, let me call up. I just can pick up the phone and call all actors in LA. Hi, I'm here from Shameless, season 7. How are you?
Put out the call. Listeners, what are we at now? Episode 4 of season 8?
Yep.
I may still be hungover from last episode. I'm kidding. There was a lot of liquor at my father's 90th birthday party. But I am Kelly's and Nica's friends. Getting through a cold, so my voice may sound a bit different. But like I just said to Matt before we started rolling, I feel like I sound like I've lived.
Seen some stuff.
Peanut butter wouldn't be something I would have with a cold. I would go for soup. Either of you go for like a peanut butter sandwich when you're not feeling well? Anyone here?
If the bread is really, really fresh, I could see maybe having some peanut butter. But it wouldn't be my go-to if I'm sick.
No. What's your go-to?
Like soup. I don't know. Chicken soup?
Matzo ball soup is mine.
Matzo ball soup.
Instant. Don't feel well, go for that. But
it's my general peanut butter and jam is a general comfort food for me. Like, so not necessarily sick per se, but I might have it if I'm like feeling like crap, just in general.
I have a question for the Canadians.
Oh, sure.
And that's everyone except me. But here's my question. My grandmother, my Nana Ann of Irish descent, not the Irish one, but of descent, she would make English muffins with peanut butter and butter.
Oh, okay.
What do we think of? Is it it's too redundant to have the peanut butter and the butter?
No, I butter my peanut butter.
Really?
It's a different flavor.
Totally.
Yeah. It's too delicious.
Creamier.
2 different delicious fats coming together on
I think it's too much.
Bread vessel.
It's too much butter?
I think it's too much.
Butter your butter?
Yeah.
But that was her go-to comfort food. And then, luckily my allergies didn't start until I was out of the house. So I ate a lot of that growing up.
Definitely. That is one thing, listeners. Episode 4, we have garnered and gathered enough EpiPens for Mary to be in the room with us. All of us are here. And we need to get started on some facts. Load us up with some EpiPenorific facts. Matt.
Okay, well, I'll stab us right in the artery of facts. North America has some very stratified concepts around food. Like certain things are toppings and other things are breakfasts or sweets, and savories have specific places in meals, as certain members of our panel have made abundantly clear. But like everything, the rules are different around the world. And in Asian countries, peanuts and peanut butter make up a much more robust part of the food puzzle.
Makes sense.
So just like a PB&J like I would have when I'm feeling blue. So Asian foods use peanuts as appetizers, salads, entrees, and desserts. And not to mention they're often used in sauces, which is where we find things like pad thai, kung pao chicken, good fortune crystal wraps, or longevity noodles to celebrate the Lunar New Year. So you'll find peanuts everywhere in Asian cuisine. Now, Japan is a bit of an exception when it comes to peanut butter in Asia, though. They don't have the same relationship with it. In fact, they kind of are rumored to to find it gross.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you can get it, but they even though they find it nasty, they do have a couple of other products, like a peanut cream, which has a consistency of a cake frosting, and they also have like a whipped peanut, which is like kind of a Cool Whip kind of consistency, like peanut fluff. Yeah. So it does make up a part of
Mary's dying, listeners.
Mary's losing her mind.
You're in shock with how wrong this is to you. So they do have peanuts though, as they like in their diet though. There's the Okinawan Jimmai tofu, which is a peanut tofu, and in fact, there's a lot of names for peanuts in Japan. Rakesi, Nanjing bean, peanut, and peanut are the three most common, but it's also called Rakasho, alien bean, Karak mame, Tojin mame, To mame, Shin mame, Hora mame, Canton mame, Daikisho, Shushame, Soko meme, this one's a rough one. Jimuru Juri Mame, Jinusha Mame, Doroku, Ban Mame, Chito Seko, and Manjuka. And that's just to name a few. There are
amazing, man.
That's new. That was fun.
All that anime finally paid off. Now you're probably wondering why so many names, and it's because of the peanut was imported around the world in the 16th century, but because of the closed borders and restricted trade in Japan, it arrived several times in waves from different like Portuguese traders or English traders or American traders. So it kind of came in different waves and sort of had different names each time. And that's why you'll find different names for different generations. Like older people will call it rakase, but younger folks will call it just peanuts. It's this very interesting history.
That's why Matt wasn't here last episode, friends. He was studying. That's incredible. I am so intrigued by a peanut-esque Cool Whip.
Yeah, that sounds not bad, actually.
I would try that.
I would try that.
Yeah. Mary is
the
not.
The texture is just, I can't. The thought of it. No. I can't. It's my rules for food are, even though I can't eat it because there's peanuts, I couldn't even, I can't.
Well said, Mary. Well said.
Well, listeners, there's going to be a test at the end of this episode, so I hope you were listening to what Matt said. But let's get going. This is episode 4 of season 8 of Order Up.
Yes, and Cari, who's our guest today?
I'm going to tell you, Mayor. Today's guest is a Toronto-based music educator and producer whose work has been featured in both films and television. He's taught music and audio post-production at Toronto's Trebas and Metalworks Institutes and at various Canadian school boards. Our guest today is a proud member of SOCAN and the Songwriters Association of Canada. He's a Factor grant recipient, and more recently, he was a juror. He is the senior music nerd at 905 Music and Sound. And most importantly, he is my husband. Please welcome Mark Alexander.
Yay!
Yay!
Slowly but surely, we're getting through all the spouses and boyfriends.
Are you
that intro makes me feel like I'm important.
You are.
Has Cari prepared you well for today? Do you feel like you've trained, you've studied?
I have neither trained nor studied. She told me what the questions were.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to be asking them. So Carrie, don't give him any hints.
Nope. You're on your own.
On your own here, Mark. You can do this. We have faith. All right. Question number 1. Important question. Do you even like peanut butter? And then why or why not?
I love peanut butter. It's filling. It's delicious. I'll be honest, it's kind of my kryptonite. I wish I didn't like it because I know it's healthy, but the amounts of peanut butter that I can eat. Someone told me that if you ever take a spoonful of peanut butter and go like this,
Yeah.
I know this is audio only, but if you stick peanut butter in your mouth, whatever is left on the spoon after you do that, that's the amount of peanut butter you're supposed to eat, apparently.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I'm going to have to pay attention the next time I dip a spoon into a vat of peanut butter. Not that I have vats of it at home. I do buy large. That wasn't the right word. But I will just put a spoon and get the peanut butter and just sit on the couch. I will.
I'm actually shocked they don't sell vats of peanut butter at Costco. You go to Costco, just bring home a large fluid tub of peanut butter.
Well, would it be a fluid tub? Because that's choosing sides already.
Get there. Matt's version would be. So peanut butter is mostly banned in schools, with all the allergies. And you guys have kiddos, so I'm sure you have been told what not to bring or to bring. What is something, Mark, that food-wise you wish had been banned when you were going to school?
So when I was going to school, there was a kid named Brian, and every single day for 4 years, grades 1 through grade 4, that's first grade through fourth grade for the Americans, he brought sardines on white bread sandwich.
Oh,
No.
With mayonnaise. Like white Wonder Bread with mayo and then sardines.
Why is this the first time I'm hearing this story?
You never asked.
That's true. That's gross.
Wow, was he a tiny kid who it sounds like someone who would carry a briefcase. I feel like he was like a tiny old man with his sardine sandwiches.
He had like a blonde straight hair bowl cut. He had huge teeth. If this were VOD, I have school pictures I could show you if this was video.
Was he Aquaman? Maybe he was Aquaman.
That would have been cool.
Maybe he was Aquaman. Or
we all had the superhero underoos back then, so maybe he had Aquaman underoos.
It's possible. It is possible. Bold sandwich choice. All right. Yeah. Okay. Question number 3, Mark. When it comes to peanut butter, do we go crunchy or do we go smooth?
Okay, so I go smooth, but I will say I used to go crunchy. It was a phase. I was in college, the experiment. And every now and then, if I bought peanut butter and accidentally bought crunchy, I'd be okay with it. I'd probably still finish it. But generally speaking, smooth.
Smooth. Nice. All right. I like that. I still dabble in crunchy. I'm still crunchy. Curious, I guess. All right. All right. Here's a question for you. And I will preface this by saying these are 2 sandwiches I did find on the internet. So it's got to be true. Everything is. Mark, what would you rather eat? A peanut butter pickle sandwich or a peanut butter sriracha sandwich?
Okay, so none of the above is not an option that I can pick, right? So our daughter has been telling me, she is really into pickles.
Obsessed.
Like she has websites with pickles and blogs and so she's told me that peanut butter and pickles are delicious. For me, I'd want to know what kind of pickle. Are we talking like a kosher dill or a bread and butter or a half sour? I don't know what kind of pickle would pair with peanut butter.
That's fair. My assumption would be dill.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
I feel like dill. I feel like a sweet and sour would not.
Yeah.
Oh, bread and butter. Bread butter.
Or bread and butter.
What about a half sour though?
I like when it comes to pickles, that's like a different episode, I know, but I'm purely kosher dill, and it can't be like anything corporate. It's got to be like a small little family business that makes them in a jar.
Somebody's old grandmother is like.
But I did promise our daughter that I would try one, so
Ew.
I'll get back to you.
Oh, I want a picture of that.
Okay.
Now I'm going to out Mark for a second. Do you know? So peanut butter and jam, classic. I'll do peanut butter and Nutella, which also very yummy if you've not done it.
Yeah.
Mark does something very unique, which I'm not supposed to say because it's not very unique. It's just unique. Mark, tell the world, what is your favorite thing to have with peanut butter?
There are a lot of things, but I assume the thing that Carrie's thinking about, I like peanut butter with mint jelly.
That's curious.
He likes it a lot. It's kind of gross, but he loves it.
Apparently, mint jelly is only supposed to go with lamb chops,
Yeah. Yeah.
but no, it's really good.
My eyeballs are sweating. This is really no.
Poor Mary.
By the way, I used to babysit a kid who always would ask for toast with peanut butter and butter. I can still hear his voice in my head,
Yeah.
make me a peanut butter and butter sandwich. So that is a thing.
Peanut butter and butter.
So, really, mint jelly and peanut butter?
Yeah,
How do you
really?
store
Yeah,
it?
I have mint jelly in the fridge to prove it if you need me to go grab it.
No,
Were you sober the first time you tried this?
Sober? Yeah.
Yeah. Were
Not
you
high? I
influenced
don't know.
Oh,
I know.
That?
You know what? It takes all kinds of people to make a world, Mare. And I have to live with this.
If it counts for any, I know how it started. It started because I had a tub of mint chocolate chip ice cream and I dropped some peanut butter into it. And that was freaking delicious.
Oh, okay. I'd be down. Mary's tilting her head. If you could eat peanuts, Mary, would you?
but see, I have a rule. So this is the rule.
Of course you do.
Because much like, remember, and you'll hear it in another episode, we had a guest who talked about the crunch quotient. Same
Yes.
thing for me.
Yes.
If there's mint chocolate chip, there's the chocolate chips. I would allow peanuts in there because there's already a crunch factor.
Right.
So I would put, if I could eat peanuts, I'd put peanuts on top of it as well.
Interesting.
But I would never put peanut butter. No. No, not okay.
I think the next time that we find ourselves in the same room, we need to have like this is a bit of a Canadian deep cut, but a just like mom-esque food show where we put together peanut butter and mint jelly. Carrie was on an episode of Just Like
I was
Mom.
on Just Like Mom, and there was no peanuts were harmed in the making of my episode.
Alrighty, we're learning a lot about Mark. I like this. I like this. All right, Mark. Question number 5. You've hit the mountain of the questions here. So the theme of the season, of course, is peanut butter. Is it a liquid or is it a solid, Mark?
So I'm going to cop. I'm a little bit guilty. Believe it or not, I haven't heard your previous episodes, so I don't know what the other guests have said. But I do know that there was like this big airline dispute because someone got stopped by the TSA because they had peanut butter. And apparently it was over the limit for liquids. Like, did anyone discuss this already?
No.
So the TSA said you're not allowed to do this because it's a liquid. And the person thought, well, that's crazy. It's not a liquid. If I put it in a sandwich, does it count? So according to the TSA, it is a liquid. It's apparently it's a non-Newtonian liquid, but
Yeah.
I know extremely little about that kind of science, so I couldn't get you into any more details. For me personally, I like it kind of thick, so for me, it is a solid. It could take the shape of the container it's in if it's warmed up.
Yeah.
So hot. I think everything in the world exists as a liquid, a solid, and a gas. Well, which is true.
Yeah.
You know, you got ice, you got water, you got steam. So peanut butter, heat it up, it's a liquid.
Are you suggesting that we eat steam peanut butter?
I wasn't, but now I'm thinking maybe. Oh, wait, spray. That could be a product. Like,
We're spray cheese. We're going to spray
aerosol peanut butter. That would be great for the allergies. Aerosol peanut butter. Anyway, so that's my answer. It just depends on its temperature.
But wait, we need an answer because we're doing a tally.
Because Mary did say it was both.
So here's the thing. Like, we call water one thing, we call ice another, but they're really the same thing at different temperatures. So if we create a new name for peanut butter when it's warmed up, because when you put that toast, our son likes us to butter or peanut butter the bread before we toast it. So when that peanut butter melts, it's totally a liquid. But I reject the question.
Oh my God. This hasn't happened in almost 50 episodes.
Yeah.
What a controversy.
What are we going to do?
Answering.
But if I have to say, I'll say solid.
Okay.
Okay, phew. All right. Woo.
Okay. So you're going solid.
In its because its solid form is the form that it's most commonly used.
Okay.
I think he gets a half point for that.
Yeah.
I do kind of like the idea of coming up with another name for like a liquid version of peanut butter.
Yeah.
The sort of water, ice, steam concept.
Yeah, definitely. All right then. Well, with that answer, as I say with a question mark in my voice, listeners, solid is taking a solid lead. So there you go, with a little half point for liquid, I guess. But Mark, thank you so much for joining us. We hope this won't cause any domestic disputes at home after we finish recording.
No, love the show. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, so we are conducting some person on the street interviews in New York City. Very exciting for Order Up listeners. I'm Kelly, on the street with, please give me your first name.
Will.
Hey, Will, how's it going?
Going great.
Amazing. Are you up to answer a question?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Will, is peanut butter a liquid or a solid?
Ooh, well, I'm going to say definitely a solid.
Okay. Any reason?
Well, I mean, I feel like if it was a liquid, it would be better for me. But I eat so much of it, and it's never a good ride. I always think this is probably not, I shouldn't have eaten this much solid. And and it also has chunks.
That's true.
Sometimes.
Yes.
So I've never heard of a chunky liquid. Although I guess that would be a smoothie.
That would sound like a problem. A chunky liquid.
If there were chunks in my water, I would complain.
Thanks. Order Up is hosted and produced by Matt Ardill,
Mary Kennedy,
Larry Hayne,
Kelly Zemeckis.
and original music is by Rebecca McDonald.